Wait. And action.
Step 1, clear your mind. Step 2, see the molecules. Step 3, make them shake.
Oh. I think, you know, when you do a contemporary story, you want to try to ground it in some form of reality, and that's exactly what we tried to do.
How is magic possible given the knowledge we have of what is possible? It's got to be all grounded and based in science, scientific fact.
So wait, is sorcery science or magic?
Yes and yes. The further you advance with science, the more it appears to be magic. If you showed people Kitty Hawk in 500, they would say it was magic. Well, it's science, but where do you really distinguish?
Yes, I know. I'm vibrating the molecules instead of just moving them around. It's wrong.
You're doing what?
Science has proven us that we are all energy, and at our nucleic, smallest form, we are just vibrating energy. So it stands to reason that if somebody really knew what they were doing, they would be able to tap into that.
Your ring is not a piece of jewelry. It projects the electrical energy of your nervous system into the physical world.
We think of the sorcerer's ring as a transducer. A transducer is a device that can convert one form of electrical energy into another.
Without his ring, a sorcerer is powerless.
And the ring is kind of neat. It's like there is no power in the ring itself. The ring essentially is like a crosshair. It is what allows a sorcerer to focus their energy, their magic, their electricity.
I can do extraordinary things with this cane. When I will it, it lights up and this sends out energy, and I can send people flying, I can destroy people, buildings, I can knock holes through walls, I think I can make tea with this. It's both a convector oven and a source of terrible power.
I'm confused.
Oh, you won't be for long, my boy.
The big guns, as I call them in the movie, would be the plasma bolt. That's when you're really in trouble. He can generate all this electrical power and shoot it in a bolt.
My favorite stuff growing up, and my whole life, has been stuff where guys shoot energy out of their hands. And so I was like, oh, I have to be in this movie. If nothing else, like just to have footage of me shooting energy out of my hands, that was a deal closer for me. Plasma bolts. That's why I'm here. Isn't it awesome? Boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop.
Well, we worked at this gag just to give interactive light. This wire will be gone, this light will be gone, but the light on my face, the light on my hands, all of this will work. And then I'll create in CG, computer graphics, I'll create a plasma ball here with matter being sucked into it.
It was sort of like, how big is it, how flickery is it, how bright is it, how does it move, and then there's sort of the smoke and particles that are emitted by it. Just dialing all those things in to get the right balance was quite tricky, to get something that felt just the right amount of fantastical, but also just about believable. So
I think when you try to do something different, it's really smart to test it a lot. We did a lot of tests with the magic before we made the movie.
You need to find something that the audience sees and thinks, yeah, that is what it would look like, or yeah, that's really cool. So we shot a bunch of tests, seeing what it looks like. When you throw magic, does it move the air? Doesn't it move the air? And I've sometimes made myself the victim of some of this magic.
We want the actors to work off of their physicality. So if they would go down like that, and we hit them with wind, we really have tried to make it so they summon it almost like a conductor to be able to conduct the magic out.
Action.
What's it like acting magic? It's tough. It's harder than you think. Actually, that's not true. I imagine most people would be able to do it. I'm an idiot, and I found it very difficult. So I'm trying to conjure things, and I'm thinking of a way to do it, and I end up looking like I'm doing Tai Chi in a field. You want to do things like Hadoukens, you know, like you've seen in Street Fighter. Like, do a Hadouken, but, you know, you've already seen that, and so has everyone else, so you've got to try and think of something new. So you end up flailing your arms and hoping that the visual effects dudes can make it look like something magic happened.
We were talking about doing all that sort of stuff, like, you know, a 10-minute discussion on whether your plasma bolt is going to work like this or like this. I kind of think, wait a minute, I'm 56 years old. What am I doing? You know? But it's, you know, we're making movies, and it's part of the magic.
It's actually very funny to watch because when you chuck in all the special effects and stuff, it all makes total sense. But when there's no special effects, they have to act it out. You see, that's funny, I saw Nick and Monica and Jay just like, like pulling all these moves.
During the battle, I had so much fun to imagine that I had the fire coming out from my hands.
Cut! What's it like? Humiliating, in a word. One can't think about it too much when one is pretending to conjure things that aren't there. Cut! And with Nick, don't think he's not saying the same stuff in between takes. He was, you know, we had a long conversation about how foolish we felt. He said, yes, but Jay, I'm a 45-year-old man. You can still get away with looking like a moron.
Dave, perhaps you should just... Jay not only is a brilliant actor, he's a wonderful comedian.
Nothing is happening.
He's great with physical comedy. His body, his mind, and his voice all commit to whatever he's got to do.
I don't know the point of this. Oh, my bum. Okay, I think there's a little poop. Physical comedy is the reason I got into acting, you know, and so any time that I get the chance to be remotely physical, I will. The training sequence, I get electrocuted a lot and got to throw myself all around the room and flail like crazy. Okay. Did this real cool scene where I'm trying to conjure plasma and it's just not happening, or whatever I can conjure just keeps on nailing me in the face and the balls.
Cut. Just cut. I ran out of things to say. And we have Nikola Tesla's creation, the Tesla coil, in the movie. The Tesla coil is an invention from Tesla that can harness and create plasma and focus electricity.
The Tesla coil is something that's real in physics. It really exists. And you can go out and buy one and make one, and you can look up on YouTube and see it. So it's something that's real. It's not like you have to say that's magic.
We've got hundreds of feet of footage of real Tesla coils, which we're trying to match to. We're trying to get a procedural way of animating these things using the kind of physical attributes of Tesla bolts. And that basically involves weeks and weeks of R&D, getting our programmers and our 3D artists to try and emulate what happens in the physical world.
Enjoy the show. This movie is definitely a love letter to Nikola Tesla in many ways, you know, and the sort of science and physics that he spent his life working on was a way, essentially, of scientifically or mathematically creating magic.
I was doing some research for the project, and there was a Tesla biography called Tesla, the Modern Sorcerer, and I was like, that's a curious title, and I started reading more and more about Tesla, and I just became interested by how many even contemporary newspaper accounts of the time called him a sorcerer.
Amazing inventor, invented a lot of things to do with transmitting electrical current and those kinds of things. Obviously, the Tesla coil is named after him, but Tesla is basically the way regular human beings using machines do what you could consider in some cases magic. And certainly, if Tesla went back in time 100 years, he would have been a sorcerer.
It just went further into this idea I had that maybe there's this link between the realm of science and the realm of the fantastic that's always existed, but it's only known to a select few.
Everything we do is within the laws of physics. You just don't know all the laws yet.
So Nikola Tesla, he's a misunderstood character. He's probably an overloved character by fanatics and an underappreciated character by mainstream society.
I think we all love him. I think he was a genius, and unfortunately never got the credit that he deserved.